the Double R Podcast, featuring your boy, the Retro Recap, Sounding Live! Sounding Alarm, and you know every time I get on here, I've got a smile on my face. Do I need to even elaborate on why I'm smiling right now? I said, if the Ravens win, my weekend is set. I don't care what happens tonight. I don't care what happens tomorrow. If the Ravens win their game at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, January the 20th, I'm a happy guy. My weekend is good. And that's exactly what they did. Congratulations to your and mine Baltimore Ravens for hosting their first ever AFC championship since they became the Ravens, right? Because ever since they've been the Ravens, they have never hosted an AFC championship game. Cool, Baltimore Colts, fine. I wasn't born, you weren't born the last time you seen a Baltimore football team host a AFC championship game. I'm 33. How old are you? Were you allowed to see an AFC championship game in Baltimore? I haven't. Thank you, Tiffy. Thank you, Savage Husky. We got a loaded show. Let me tell you what we're going to do in this show. We're going to recap the game. We're going to hear from John Harbaugh. We're going to hear from D'Amico Ryans. And guess what? This is the best part about this content. Here's the fun part. We're actually going to take a look at the comment section of people. They're still trashing Lamar Jackson even after this win. They were like, oh, the man is 1-3. Fine, he gets you a playoff win. And they're still talking trash. That's kind of the reason why I'm a little bit late to the show. Is because I was looking at the comment section, just looking at all the hate. And I'm like, how are we still hating on this man when they won? It's like the narrative, the goalposts always move for Lamar Jackson. That is true. The goalpost is always moving for Lamar Jackson. He does something good, okay, but he can't do this. He does that, oh, but he can't do this. It's like, damn. Let's acknowledge what the man did in the present. Stay in the present. Why are we worrying about the past and the future? The Ravens just won a game that some analysts were predicting that they weren't going to win. Why is it that Lamar Jackson is the only guy that you always got to find the he can't do this though? You say he's a running back. He proved he can throw. You said he couldn't win a playoff game. He wins a playoff game. You say he couldn't get you to the AFC championship game. He gets you there. It's always he can't do that. Now wait till we get to the comments. Oh, but he's still negative in the playoffs. Oh, he won't win the AFC championship. He won't get to like it's always something here. But it's fine. When we get to that part of the show, I'm gonna have my field day. Because you know, anytime I get on here and after a Ravens win, I'm smiling, I'm a dig in that ass. I'm a dig in that ass. It's just that simple. I'm a dig in it. I'm a dig in that booty. Because there are so many people out there that just want to hate on people for no reason. The man had a great game after not playing 2 weeks of football. He hasn't played since the Miami game. And if y'all remember that Miami show I did, that was my best show of the year. I literally went in and exposed people for what they are. I'm waiting to see the people that was commenting on those videos a couple weeks ago. I'm waiting to find you because I can't find you nowhere. Lamar Jackson keeps making history, personal history, and franchise history, because the Ravens have never had a quarterback like him. You've had Trent Dilfer the first Super Bowl. You had Joe Flacco the second Super Bowl. There's never been a Lamar Jackson type quarterback in Ravens history. So it's time to start acknowledging the greatness of Lamar Jackson. McFarlane, how you feeling today, my guy? I was supposed to go to the game, but my father-in-law was sick. Well, shit, you could have took me. Although it was like 20 degrees out there. I mean, I had been in Ravens games in rain and cold, so 20 degrees might not even been a bad thing for me. But the Baltimore Ravens will host their first AFC championship. They beat the Houston Texans 34-10 in a very interesting game. Lamar Jackson, as I mentioned, has not played since New Year's Eve. So it is now January the 20th. Lamar Jackson has not played since New Year's Eve. That's 21 days of no football, of in-game action. And early on in this game, you saw a little bit of that. A little bit of rust. The offense was moving the ball the first drive, and then there was a drive early in the second quarter. I'm like, cool. Every other drive outside of those two drives was 3 and outs or just the ball not being consistently moving down the field. They were pressuring Lamar Jackson with the blitz. Lamar Jackson was getting sacked. And there was a few times Lamar Jackson had green grass to run, and he almost slipped out of the tackle, and he couldn't get there. He got sacked. All in all, the defense came to play. The defense did not even give up a touchdown in this game. The only touchdown that the Texans got was Sims on the punt return. The defense was lights out. If you watch anything leading up to this game, Roquan Smith talking a lot of trash, but very confident. We are all dogs. We come in here to handle business. We protect our house. We're not going to let no one come to our house and treat us how they want to treat us. This is our house, and you're going to respect it. And that's exactly what they did. The defense played great. The offense took some time, but at halftime, it was a 10-10 game. Lamar Jackson went right down the field. Running touchdown. Cool, 17-10. Lamar Jackson. It looked like he was gonna run to the outside to get to the perimeter, and he threw the ball to Isaiah Likely. Touchdown. It's 24 to 10 at that point. Then Lamar Jackson for the final touchdown of the game. He takes it in. Makes it 31-10. At that point, it was over. Everybody came into this game talking about what C.J. Stroud was going to do to this Ravens defense. To all the people that thought that C.J. Stroud was going to light this defense up, have you been watching the last 5 weeks of football for the Ravens? They shut down Jacksonville. The Rams gave them a big challenge. Don't get me wrong. They shut down San Francisco. They shut down Miami. Where was any indication that you got that C.J. Stroud was just going to light this defense up? Why? Because he looked good against a dominant Browns defense. And I use that word in quotation, dominant, because they put up 45 points against the Cleveland Browns. Everybody, I was hearing this all year long. The Browns have a better defense than the Ravens. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. We played the Browns the first game. We scored 28. We played the second time. We lost. We put up 31 points. So from a Ravens point of view, the Browns didn't have a dominant defense because we were able to move the ball against the Browns. So everybody's saying, well, C.J. Stroud lit up the Browns. He's going to do that to Lamar Jackson. And I'm like, I mean, to the Ravens defense. I'm like, y'all have not been watching this defense all year long. They barely give up 20 points a game. And if the Ravens continue to play like this, 20 points is more than enough for this offense. We're going to talk about the potential two teams that the Ravens may play. But C.J. Stroud was playing better football than Patrick Mahomes, and it's very debatable about Josh Allen the last 7 weeks of football of the season. C.J. Stroud has been balling. You know what I'm saying? So, and look what we did to him. Now, he's a rookie, but he was balling. Whoever we play in this next round is going to be a more seasoned quarterback. Patrick Mahomes has been to how many Super Bowls? 3? 4? He went to 2019. He went to, didn't he win it? So wait, what year did he win it in? He beat San Francisco. That was 2019. 2020, he lost to Tom Brady. 2021, The Bengals got there. And then last year, it was against the Eagles. So yeah, so Patrick Mahomes has been to 3 Super Bowls and won 2. So yes, he has experience. And Josh Allen, even though he's not been to a Super Bowl, he has playoff experience. So whoever the Ravens played next is going to have much more experience than C.J. Stroud. But C.J. Stroud was playing the best football out of everybody in the last 7 weeks that he's played. He's been balling. The Texans had every reason to be here because of him. But I knew coming into the game, I was like, okay, they're not going to be able to run the ball against this defense. Their running game is not good. And if you can make any team one-dimensional in football, you have the advantage. Why? Because you know what's coming. You know how to prepare against that. So even though C.J. Stroud's a baller, if you can make the Texans one-dimensional, which the Ravens did, you keep everything in front of you. You don't let anything fly over your head. The Ravens have been doing this all year. They don't let big plays happen over their head. They keep everything in front of them. They make the tackle. They force turnovers. I don't think C.J. Stroud got sacked one time this game. The Ravens didn't even get no turnovers. The Ravens led the league in points per game given up, sacks, and takeaways. Sacks and takeaways, the latter two, didn't even happen in this game. And they still won by 24 points. No takeaway, no sack, you still beat a team by 24 points. So what does that tell me? This Ravens team has multiple ways they can beat you. Okay, we didn't take the ball, we didn't turn the ball over, we didn't give a force a takeaway, cool. We didn't get a sack, cool. We still whipped your ass though. So this defense is not just a bend and don't break defense. This defense can be locked down when they need to be. So they don't even need the sack you or take away the ball to beat you. I love this defense, and if this defense plays like this for 2 more games, the Ravens are going to be Super Bowl champions. That's the beauty about getting the #1 seed. Your path to the Super Bowl is much easier. You only have to win 3 games as opposed to 4. The Ravens are two wins away from a Super Bowl. Definitely big up to C.J. Stroud. This man's a baller. And as I said in the last podcast, if the Ravens had let go of Lamar Jackson, there was only 2 options that I would have thought, okay, I would like as an alternative. Lamar Jackson does not get a contract done in Baltimore. That was Justin Fields and drafting C.J. Stroud. I said, if that happens, I can live with Lamar Jackson leaving. I don't want him to leave, but if that is the route that they go, get me one of those 2 guys. I'm glad that neither happened, because Lamar Jackson is definitely your 2-time MVP, and he's proven why he's the best in the league at what he does. Lamar Jackson makes history, and he tells a beautiful story doing it. Not everybody is an overnight success. Everybody wants Lamar Jackson win playoff game and win Super Bowl, because you can clearly tell they want him to, because they always use it as an argument for why he's not good. He doesn't win a Super Bowl. He doesn't win the playoffs. So fine, he's telling a beautiful story. If you keep working at something, you will ultimately achieve your goals. Peyton Manning, one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. He didn't just come into the playoffs and just win. Everybody's not a Tom Brady. Everybody's not a Patrick Mahomes where they can just come into the league and just dominate. He's telling a beautiful story here. He's showing you the beauty in a story of progression and hard work. No, he didn't have a great playoff career so far. He has not won a Super Bowl, but he's getting better each year, and he's proven to you that if you continue to work and you're goal-oriented and you're locked in, you can achieve anything you want. Lamar Jackson is locked in. It's a reason why I made that YouTube short about 2 weeks ago about the power of 8. Go look up what the number 8 means in numerology and the power that it has. Lamar Jackson is wearing the number 8. Power, abundance, infinity. Good things happen with the number 8. 2024. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 equals 8. 8 is a powerful number. It started off a little rough, but you see in the second half, Lamar Jackson took over. I'm going to use my legs to my advantage. They can't stop it, so I'm going to keep utilizing it. This man had 4 total touchdowns. And I expect him to play better next week because I felt like the first half of this game was just getting the rust off. And people may have, oh, it wasn't rust. They practice. You can't simulate game action. Game action is game action. Practice is practice. But when they got cooking in that second half and that rust, you see why this team is so good and why the power of number 8 and numerology and the power of number 8 and Lamar Jackson are destined to win the Super Bowl. If the defense continues to play like this and Lamar Jackson does Lamar Jackson things, they're gonna be holding this trophy up in a few weeks. And I'm here for it. I was here for the 2000 Super Bowl, even though I was young as hell. I remember that vividly. Festivus Maximus, I remember that vividly. I was much older when they won the second Super Bowl with Joe Flacco. I remember all of that. I want to be alive to see another Super Bowl. I really do. And if the Ravens keep playing like this, I don't see why not. I really don't. Lamar Jackson, 4 total touchdowns. As a matter of fact, let's get the numbers up here. Let's get the box score up here. And let's take a peek. All right, let's take a peek at this box score. You know how I am. Numbers don't tell you everything, but they tell you something. Lamar Jackson, 16 of 22 for 152. 2 scores in the air. Lamar Jackson, 11 carries, 100 yards, another 2 touchdowns. The man had over 250 yards of offense and 4 touchdowns, which is why I always say in my argument for Lamar Jackson about the MVP, he's not going to give you 300 passing yards a game. He's going to give you the total package. Yards are yards, whether you get them in the air, whether you run it on the ground. Yards are yards. Touchdowns are touchdowns. Lamar Jackson is an absolute beast. Lamar Jackson had over 30 touchdowns total this season. Lamar Jackson is an all-around package. That's why he's your MVP. Everybody talked about C.J. Stroud leading up to this game. The man didn't even have 1 touchdown pass. 19 of 33 for 175. How many 3 and outs did the Texans get in this game? I gotta go back and look at the game. But the Texans had at least 5 or 6 3 and outs this game. At least 5. And for those who don't know, a 3 and out, you get the ball, you don't get a first down, you punt. Or you turn the ball over. They had at least 5 of those this game. The defense came to play. That's a great quarterback over there in C.J. Stroud. And I know he's going to light the league up for years to come. The AFC is loaded with top talent. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, C.J. Stroud, Joe Burrow. Probably missing somebody. There's talent galore. You know what I'm saying? So the AFC is loaded. This is a great chance for Lamar Jackson to get his Super Bowl. Kansas City is not as dominant as they used to be. Buffalo, to me, is beatable because Allen can turn the ball over. This is the best time for Lamar Jackson to get a Super Bowl because Joe Burrow is going to be back next year. A better C.J. Stroud. You know Patrick Mahomes is always in the mix. Josh Allen always in the mix. You still got other quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence, Anthony Richardson, who knows what he's going to turn into. You got studs. This is the best, most complete team. Plus, the Ravens have players on that roster right now that may not be back next year due to not play. It's just contractual things. There are players that are going to get paid, and you're not going to be able to see everybody. I'm not sure we're going to see a Patrick Queen, a Justin Madubuike on the same roster. I'm not sure we're gonna see Ronnie Stanley, even though he made a nice block for that touchdown. I don't know. Kevin Zeitler. There are guys on this team. Geno Stone. There are guys on this team that we just don't know who's gonna be back next year. Clowney, Kyle Van Noy, all on one-year deals. OBJ. There are veterans on this team that we don't know what their status will be next year. This is the best collection of talent that the Ravens have had that I've been watching on both sides of the ball. And I mean that. It's better than a 2019 team, because even as good as that 2019 team was, they didn't have the veterans like they do now. You got guys like Clowney, Kyle Van Noy, Marcus Williams. You got guys that have been playing. Michael Pierce. Wavy Wild, what's goody with you, my guy? You've got guys that are veterans. OBJ. You got a more older team, a more veteran team, a hungrier team. This team is better than that 2019 team that was in the same predicament as this team. This is the Ravens' best chance to get to a Super Bowl. And for those who say Lamar Jackson is not MVP, look at these numbers. Let me highlight these for you. 16 of 22. 152, 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson, 11 carries. My highlighting is terrible right now. But y'all get the point. I guess they won't highlight just one. 11 carries, 100 yards, 2 TDs. And y'all saying this man's not the MVP. Then y'all say, oh, well, this man is just a running back. Miss you with that. Anyway, let's look at the receivers. Zay Flowers, 4 catches. What's up, Got Juice? What's up, man? 4 catches, 41 yards, 5 targets. Rashad Bateman, 3 catches, 39 yards, 3 targets. Isaiah Likely with the big touchdown grab in the third quarter. 2 catches, 34 yards. He didn't get any targets in the first half. Well, actually, he did get a target in the first half. That was that one that Isaiah Likely was like, Lamar, you should throw it up. Lamar kind of like tried to fit it in there. Lamar Jackson went back to him again. Touchdown. Isaiah Likely was involved in the second half. Nelson Aguilar, 2 catches, 12 yards, but he caught a big one, the touchdown. OBJ, 1 catch, 1 target. OBJ didn't even need to be used in this game as much. What's up, God Juice? Defense. Once again, Kyle Hamilton is all over the field. Every time I watch the Ravens, that's why Kyle Hamilton is your defensive MVP. You see how they look when he's there. You see how they look when he's not there. Kyle Hamilton is an absolute beast. It don't matter where the play is. Kyle Hamilton is somewhere involved in the play. Wavy, we deserve to take a shot. We deserve to take a shot of alcohol. The Ravens won. First AFC championship game in our lifetime. We need to take a shot of something to celebrate. After I get up this podcast, I'm going to take a shot of Crown Royal and celebrate for my team. You feel me? Because moments like this don't happen very often. Celebrate the moments as they come. Because you cannot assume that we're going to do this again next year. You cannot assume that, oh, we're good this year, we're going to be good next year. We don't know what's going to happen. Celebrate the moments as they come. I'm taking a shot of Crown Royal after this stream in celebration of my Baltimore Ravens doing what they do best. The Baltimore Orioles were the #1 seed in the American League, and they got swept. Great season. We just can't assume that this is going to happen again. We got to celebrate the small things, the little things that make up a great moment. And the Baltimore Ravens getting to an AFC championship game and having it in M&T Bank Stadium is a moment for me that I am going to celebrate tonight. I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting that brandy out and I'm having me a good time tonight. I'm getting the brandy, I'm getting the rocks, and I'm having a good time because I'm celebrating. Also knowing the mission is not accomplished though. And I know the players are already thinking that. Mission is not accomplished. We still got to get 2 more wins. Next stop is the win of this next game tomorrow. 1 game at a time, laser focused. I can already assure you that Ravens players are celebrating, but after tonight, they're locked into the next opponent. And that's how you got to be. Lamar Jackson said as soon as he found out that the Houston Texans were the team that they were going to play, he studied them. Week 1 and everybody that they play after week 1, he studied them. And you can tell it started off a little rough, but you can tell in that second half all the work that they did studying, it paid off because they could not stop his legs. They could not stop Lamar Jackson. Even though he got 100 yards, there were a few plays where I saw where Lamar Jackson had green grass. And one of those plays, he probably could have took it all the way. So whatever he studied, he saw that Houston Texans, they leave a lot of open green grass. Because he took advantage of that. Good for him. Roquan Smith, Patrick Queen, they do what they do best. They tackle, they tackle, they tackle. Jadeveon Clowney, even though he don't get sacks, he's always in the mix. Jadeveon Clowney, Matabike, Kyle Van Noy, they're always somewhere. Then you got cornerbacks blitzing. Like that's why the defense is so good. It's not just your traditional linebackers and linemen potentially drawing pressure. You got cornerbacks and safeties on blitzes. You don't know where to throw the ball at because you don't know who's where. Kyle Hamilton gets tackled for a loss, sacks. Arthur Millette, same thing. You got safeties coming in. They're in the quarterback's grill. Like how often do you see that? They can play coverage. They can play on a line of scrimmage. They can do everything. Great overall game. Let's get to John Harbaugh's press conference. I do want to hear from John Harbaugh. Let's get that up real fast. Let's hear what John Harbaugh had to say after the game, and then I'll react to it.
Being here, I just want to start off with this. This is something that was sent to me before the game. It just is meaningful to me, so I'm going to share it with you because I think it's the right thing to do. And it's a verse.
This can't be 720p. What is this? That can't be 720p quality. Looking like that, I was gonna say, what is that? That's like some damn. I don't know what that was. That wasn't 720p. What the fuck is that?
Greatness, power, glory, victory, and honor belong to you, because everything in heaven and on earth belongs to you. The kingdom belongs to you, Lord. You are the head and the ruler over everything. So there's an amazing spirit on this team, and just want to kind of give honor and glory where it's due. With that. The first ever AFC Championship game will be played in Baltimore since 1970, when John Sandusky, Jerry Sandusky's dad, was the offensive line coach here. So we're excited about that. And our fans are going to get a chance to cheer just as louder than they did in this game, and they were amazing. 6 false start penalties. I thought our fans were incredible, man. It was deafening.
Fans were absolutely loud, amazing.
To our fans, first of all.
They were
Coaches
going crazy.
I thought did a great job. Second half adjustments were
I wish I had a win.
Strong. And Lamar just played out of his mind along with our defense. Everybody did. So proud of our guys. It's the first step. The next step is in front of us. We'll find out who we play after tomorrow, and we're looking forward to it.
John, at 10-10 in the halftime, what was the locker room like? What was said in the locker room at halftime to get the team reignited?
Yeah, the locker room was good. I think everybody's just kind of a little edgy. You know, we all a little edgy. I mean, I talked to him last night. Like, I don't even know how we feel. None of us know how we feel. We're excited for the opportunity, but we're edgy and we're mad. You know, we got a lot to prove, and I felt that was kind of the feeling in the locker room at the game, and everybody just kind of took a deep breath and said, all right, you know, it's 0-0, gave up a big punt return, and it's our game to go win. We got to go take it.
John, I know that a lot of guys have turned over since 2019, but over the last 2 weeks, how powerfully did that memory kind of linger for you or Lamar or motivate anybody that contribute to the edginess you were feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a good question. I just think for those who were here, I mean, it's not something you forget, but it wasn't really in the forefront of our minds. It's just a different team. It's a different opponent. But it's not something you want to experience again when you've been through it once before. So it's probably part of it.
And that's what I'm saying when we're talking about comparing this team to the last team, the 2019 team. Lamar's older. Everybody's older. It was 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? You got more veterans on your team. This team, you got Kyle Van Noy's been to a Super Bowl. He's won a Super Bowl. Jadeveon Clowney has been in the playoffs. He's a veteran. OBJ has won a Super Bowl. You got guys that are veterans on the Marcus Williams. You got guys that have been playing in the league. This team is a lot better than the previous team. Different offensive coordinator, different defensive coordinator. You got the same head coach, but I mean, there's a lot of different pieces. So when those that say, "Oh, the 2019 season is going to haunt this team," you can miss me with that because it's two totally different teams. And you can't use that game. And I'm glad John Harbaugh said that. You can't use a playoff game 4 years ago as a reference to this team. Some of these guys weren't even there. And for the guys that were there, I don't necessarily know if I want to have that reminder in my head with one of the biggest games in Raven history.
What do you think of the defense, dominant day again, only giving up 3 points?
The defense was just as good as it could be. And that's a good offense over there. That's a good quarterback. C.J. Stroud deserves a lot of credit. They're very well coached. Their offensive line is really good and tough. It's tough to get to the quarterback. Then he gets out and he starts running around and starts making plays downfield. But I thought our guys chased him, and I thought our plaster downfield, our coverage was just outstanding. And we covered as long as we needed to so many times. He still made some really good throws in there. So got a heck of a running back. I thought our defense was just as good as it could be.
John, you mentioned second half adjustments. What did you think you needed to change coming out of the locker room?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about just pass rush lanes. We talked a little bit about what defenses we were going to be in. Then offensively, we talked a little bit about completions, a little bit about a profit game. You know, let's get the thing going, not try to push the ball downfield quite as much. I think that also helped open up the run game a little bit. So Lamar did a great job. A lot of that was his thinking as well. I mean, he was all over what he thought we needed to do in the second half. Collaborative effort for sure. Todd deserves a lot of credit. I thought he called a great game, especially in the second half. And Mike was, he was on fire.
John, could you get a sense?
Mike McDowell is on fire. Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, I really did. We talked about it. I thought Lamar was going to play great, but he's played great all year. You know, and just now, it's more important than ever. He's been locked in from day one. That's his term, and we've all kind of ran with that. And I think he's directed this whole thing. But like he said, we got more work to do.
Yep.
John, were you surprised how much they blitzed you guys?
No, not at all, because they had a little bit of success doing it the first game. They've picked their spots. They've been a good blitz team. We kind of expected it. We prepared for it. We worked on blitz stuff for 2 weeks. Lamar did a great job. The offensive line, everybody did a great job. I mean, we had our moments. We had to make a few adjustments in terms of how we were picking them up. They changed up a couple things for this game too, and we had to flip our protections a little bit.
So what were your adjustments in the second half, Jim, to the blitz?
No, I think we just did a better job of kind of getting the ball out on time. I think Todd called a different game. It wasn't so much hold the ball and try to push the ball downfield, which Lamar did a good job. But once Lamar was able to sit back there and just kind of pick them apart, getting the ball out quick, he just did a great.
Yes, and I agree with that. And that's one of the things that I noticed in the second half too. I noticed how Lamar Jackson was quick two-step drop, bam, go. Like I remember that one slant pass to Rashad Bateman. Where OBJ ran the first slant and then Rashad Bateman came on the second slant. It was a quick throw. It was a lot of those, and that's what you do against the blitz, because a blitz, you know, they're bringing everybody. So the amount of time that you have to throw the ball is slim. You got to get the ball out fast. So that was a good adjustment by Monken in the offense and Lamar Jackson for understanding, okay, if you're gonna bring pressure on me, we need to dial up plays that get the ball out my hand fast. You know what I'm saying? And that's elementary, but those are the kind of things that Greg Roman wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? A team would have success on his offense, and he wouldn't have a counter to that. You know? And that's why this offense is a lot better and more equipped to go the long distance as opposed to previous years, because the coordinators know how to make adjustments. That's exactly what you do. Okay, you want to pressure me? You want to speed up my time clock to get the ball out? Fine, I'll do that. And we got the talent on the outside to be able to get that done. You know what I'm saying? We got Zay Flowers, we got Isaiah Likely, we got Odell Beckham, Nelson Aguilar, Likely. We have the weapons. So if you want to sit there and blitz us, fine. We got guys that can get open quick, especially Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers is quick, shifty. He can get to his spots. This is a matter of Lamar Jackson getting him the ball, which he did this game.
Great job with that, and that took control of the game.
So that video just appeared of you doing another dance after. How many more you got left?
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was everybody. I mean, George Godsey started it off because he wanted, is it Night Train by the Gap Band? I don't know which song it was. The Train song by the Gap Band. I should know that song. It's my era. But George got us started, then we all got in there and danced. So
oh yeah, I know that song.
I just want you to know it wasn't just
that's
me.
my song too.
We saw Gus Edwards leave. Is he okay? And what do you think of Dalvin Cook?
I thought Dalvin Cook did. Gus is okay. I thought Dalvin was a spark. You know, he did a nice job to finish the thing off at the end when we needed to run the clock out.
Justice Hill.
Justice had a great game. Justice, so many runs all throughout the game, and at the end, a couple hard runs.
Yeah, Justice Hill
I
did
told
pretty
Justice, I said, man, you're really, really talented, but your heart's even bigger.
John, you kind of touched on it in your opening statement, but how meaningful is it for you and this group to be the first in franchise history to host an AFC Championship?
It's meaningful, you know, and now we got to get to work and go win it. You know, that's really
Exactly,
that's the challenge.
I like that. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Acknowledge the moment. First AFC Championship game in the history of Ravens history, team history. But the focus is the win. It's not just being satisfied that you are hosting the game. It's knowing that you're playing to win the game. You know, no one here is being satisfied is satisfied with an AFC Championship game. Cool. You were the number 1 seed. You were supposed to be here. That's why you got the bye week. That's why you have the best record in the league. You're supposed to be here. So this is not no. We're just happy to be here. You know, host a championship game. No. Your goal is to win the whole thing. This is just a small building block up on that journey to get to the Super Bowl and win it.
Feel like that initial win just frees you guys up a little bit. You talk about that, back to that edginess. Is that kind of give an albatross off you a little bit?
Our guys are gonna stay edgy. Our guys are gonna stay edgy. I don't know whatever you want to call it, but they're determined and they're motivated, and it's gonna be a great team coming in here next week, and we're gonna have to play our best football. And I promise you, that's all these guys are gonna be thinking about.
John, what happened on the punt return touchdown from the Texans? What thing broke down?
Yeah, it wasn't. I know Jordan will probably tell you it wasn't the greatest punt he's ever had, and it was into the wind. It was really a tough punt, and the drop was tough. Got in his hands fast. We were skewed to the left more because we thought maybe we'd go left a little more, and thought they blocked it really well. And he's a great returner. I'm proud of the fact the rest of the game that we got it under wraps. But I give them a lot of credit. That's a very good special teams unit, and it was a great return by them.
John, why do you think your guys designed runs for Lamar? The boots, the draws were so effective, knowing that there's always going to be eyes on him.
Yeah, but you got to put eyes on the other guys too, because their offensive line blocks and the downhill runs were effective, and you got to put a lot of resources into stopping those runs. So I guess you give the offensive line and running backs credit for forcing all that attention inside, and Lamar is so good getting the ball back outside.
Yep.
All set? Thank you.
And that was a great question as we get back to the main shot here. That was a great question by him. Is like the confidence to be able to call those design runs, knowing that they know Lamar Jackson can run the ball. And that's the beauty about all of it, is that you know Lamar Jackson's going to run the ball. Your eyes is always on Lamar Jackson. So the fact that those kind of design run plays actually work when the defense already knows that we got to keep our eyes on him is impressive. It tells you what the running backs are doing, because when they fake it to the running back, if the running game was not effective, no one would bite on those run plays. The reason why Lamar Jackson is having success is because, one, the receivers are doing their job and route running, and the running backs are having success to where the defense is actually thinking you're running the ball. Except you're not. Lamar Jackson is faking it and taking it the other way. That's a great question. You run those design plays with Lamar Jackson because, one, is Lamar Jackson. He's the best athlete on the field. Every game that the Ravens play, Lamar Jackson is the best athlete on the team, on the field. He's your best weapon as a runner and a passer. Take advantage of that. And if you have success running the ball, it makes those play action, those read options more effective. Great question, John Harbaugh. Great. I like the mindset, and I like the term locked in. We're locked in. We're not just happy to be in a championship game. We're going in there to win it, get to the Super Bowl, and win that. They're locked in. Good. There's nothing else. This team has already accomplished a lot this year, except the Super Bowl. That's the only goal. It's not about being number one in point score. It's not about being number one defensive point score. It's not number one in sacks. It's about winning the Super Bowl. Those are small accomplishments along the way. The goal is not done yet. The journey is not over yet. We still got more to go. All right, let's get to the fun part of this show. The part I enjoy the most is actually showing and exposing what people around the social media space are saying about Lamar Jackson. So can we get that up, please? Thank you. Let's take a look at what people are saying about Lamar Jackson after the win, shall we? You know me, I'm up here scouring on the internet just to see the temperature check of what people are actually saying about the game, and you know, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I know what I see with my own two eyes, and one thing I don't do on social media anymore, I don't go back and forth with anybody no more. Especially the trolls. It's like, I think some people just say nonsense just to get a reaction, and that's cool. But I'm not going back and forth with somebody that truly don't believe what they're saying, and they just want to argue. But there are some things that people say that just literally make no sense. All right, so Lamar Jackson, of course, as you all know, they won the game. And the caption from Bleacher Report is, Lamar's heading to his first AFC Championship game. Ravens handle Texans 34-10. Here's a guy, clearly he's a Steelers fan. The Ravens did lose 2 times to the Steelers, so what does that really say about them? What the hell does that got to do with Lamar Jackson getting to an AFC Championship game? And where the hell are the Pittsburgh Steelers? Where are the Pittsburgh Steelers at? What does losing to the Steelers got to do with anything? You know what I'm saying? I think trolls just want to be trolls. And hey, I'm giving you some spotlight. Your name is popping up on a live stream. Cool. You accomplished something. But the comment has no weight to it. Let's move on. It took 6 seasons for Lamar Jackson to get to an AFC Championship game. Cool. You tell me how long it took Pacman Manning to win a playoff game, how long it took Pacman Manning to get to a Super Bowl, how long did it take Pacman Manning to get to an AFC Championship game? Not everybody is an overnight success. Fortunately, we got the Patrick Mahomes and the Tom Brady's of the world that can do that on a regular basis, but not everybody can do that. It's not about how fast you get there, it's about can you get there at all. Lamar Jackson may have not gotten there as fast as Patrick Mahomes. He might not have gotten there as fast as Tom Brady, but he's there. And it doesn't matter. Once again, the goalposts always move. If Lamar Jackson had lost this game, then people would just keep saying, oh, he never can get to an AFC Championship game. He wins. Now it's like, oh, but it took him 6 seasons. He can't win. Let's keep on looking. There was some really interesting ones. Texans versus the refs. I'm playing the refs. The Texans did that, and kudos. And I forgot to mention this. John Harbaugh did. Kudos to the crowd. I wanted to go to this game so bad. I really did want to go to this game so bad. I ain't got the money. It ain't even about the weather. Yeah, it's cold out there, but I've been to Ravens games in the rain, in the cold. You know what I'm saying? So weather is not an issue for me. If I had the money, I would have went. Shout out to the crowd that went to the game today. They were loud as hell. And those those pre-snap penalties, false starts and offsides encroachment, that's a kudos to the fans for making that stadium a true home field advantage to where you couldn't hear anything. You go to Seattle and you had the 12th man and that crowd back in the day in Seattle, that a true home field advantage. Arrowhead, a true home field advantage where the crowd is so loud that it's affecting the other team. Green Bay, you know what I'm saying? So the Texans had those pre-snap penalties simply because the crowd was involved. The Ravens also had the lead at times, first half and definitely in the second half, to where if the Ravens get a lead, the fans can make as much noise as they want because they have something to cheer for. If the Texans did their thing, shut the crowd up, we may be having a different story. But the fact that the Ravens had the lead, the crowd had every reason to be involved in that football game, as they did. Lamar haters are real quiet right now. Exactly. Where y'all at? They'll be back. They're gonna move the goalpost again. They're gonna find something to move the goalpost on. I promise you that. This man right here, very respective of his Houston Texans. Man, I don't care that we lost or how bad we lost. I'm proud of this team for how far they got. You, sir, are a true Texans fan. Much respect to you, man. Be appreciative. I don't think no one predicted that excuse me. Excuse me. No one expected Texans to be here. So he's appreciative. He knows what he sees. Kudos to you, man. The future is bright. He had 4 touchdowns and a good completion percentage. The way y'all talking, you would think he was just missing throws. People don't watch the game, yo. People literally just get on social media and just talk trash and don't even watch football. That's what annoys me about the casual fan that chirps online. You say all these things and don't watch football. You basically just repeat the same thing that people on ESPN and Fox say. It's like you don't even watch the games. You just watch Richard Sherman and others. Anyway. No more CJ Stroud glazing. I don't want to hear a single thing about him anymore. Now, I don't know about all that. CJ Stroud's a baller. I get it, the Ravens won. But let's not make it seem like CJ Stroud did not come into this game balling. He ran into a good defense. The Ravens have been making everybody look like this. It's not just CJ Stroud. The man deserves some credit. He just didn't have his best game. But then again, what quarterback does against this defense? Lamar haters are quiet. Yep. He's really about to win MVP and a championship in the same season. Very possible. The MVP is almost for sure his. And don't get me wrong, the MVP is a regular season award. Cool. So this game has no bearing on the MVP award. But let's not get it twisted. They're watching this. And this just, I mean, you have to grade him on what he did in the regular season, but you can't help but to not look at this game and say, yeah, this is the MVP for a fact. Thank God we won't have another AFC Championship game at Arrowhead. I know, right? Because what? Last year, Arrowhead, the year the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, it was at Arrowhead. Then it was Arrowhead again against the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, it's been at Arrowhead since 2018, right? Because the Chiefs lost to the Patriots. Tom Brady went to the Super Bowl that year. And then every year after that, it's been an Arrowhead. You're absolutely right. The Chiefs are either going to a Super Bowl or they're hosting a championship game. It's always been an Arrowhead. That's a great point. This is the first time in a long time that the AFC Championship game will be somewhere other than Kansas City. Shout out to the Baltimore Ravens. It should have been that way back in 2019, but we know how that went. Because the Ravens were the #1 seed that year, and if they won that Tennessee game, they would have been hosting it that year. But anyway, I digress. Let's take a look. Lamar Jackson for MVP, CJ Stroud for Rookie of the Year. Facts. I should be liking some of these comments because some people are actually are realists. Like this comment right here. You give credit to both guys. Lamar for MVP, CJ Stroud for Rookie of the Year. It's Lamar year, no cap. Thank God for no more AFC at Arrowhead. Look at Lamar. Inspirational, exactly. This is what I was talking about earlier about Lamar Jackson telling a story. There's a story to be told about Lamar Jackson's career. It's not about how fast you get things done. It's about getting the job done overall. Lamar Jackson has been successful, but he's also had failures. And those failures come in not winning those playoff games. But what does that do? It makes you more hungry. It makes you more motivated. It makes you more locked in. There's more emphasis on this year because Lamar Jackson has done it all except win a Super Bowl, except get to an AFC Championship game. Lamar has done it all. He has the rushing records. He has the great winning percentage. He has the MVPs. He's never gotten to an AFC Championship game until now, and he's never went to a Super Bowl and never won a Super Bowl. There's a story being told here. And a guy like me, I'm a guy that appreciates good storyline. I love good story. I love good storytelling. Lamar Jackson is telling you a story with his career. Everybody, when he got drafted, he's just a running back. The storyline of having to prove people wrong with your play. The Ravens didn't give him a good passing game coordinator. So Lamar Jackson was held back. All the Greg Roman years, Lamar Jackson was held back. They fired Greg Roman. Bring in Todd Monken, a passing coordinator. Now we get to really see the Lamar Jackson that we really wanted to see a couple years ago. This is a storyline here. Lamar Jackson didn't just come in winning playoff games, winning Super Bowls. He's going through the journey of the NFL, and just like it's just, the reason why I love this storyline because it's relatable to any human being. I've been through my own share of ups and downs and the journey of being a content creator. I've had some good times, I've had some low times. But if you're consistent at what you do and you are serious about the mission at hand, you will ultimately reach your goal. That's the storyline. Any human being can relate to this storyline because your average Joe can even understand this. I'm not a quarterback. I'm not making 6 figures. I'm not making 7 figures. But I can relate to this. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm enjoying this ride. Lamar Jackson. Every year he's gotten better. Every year he's gonna move the goalpost because the people create it, and there's more narratives that he's got to debunk. It's very relatable. I love this. If he wins the AFC Championship and wins the Super Bowl, the story is over. The story of Lamar Jackson is over. You know they're going to say, oh, he can't win 2 Super Bowls like Patrick Mahomes. They're going to find something. But if Lamar Jackson caps this thing off, the story is complete. He's a Hall of Famer after 8 seasons. If Lamar Jackson wins the Super Bowl, he's a Hall of Famer. 2 MVPs, rushing record, winning. He's got the winning percentage. He's got the Super Bowl. More than likely, if they win the Super Bowl, he'd probably be Super Bowl MVP. The story is closed. But until then, enjoy the chapters that leading up to the final page. Enjoy the chapters until we get to the end of the book. Lamar Jackson we're still reading Lamar Jackson's book. We're getting down to the end chapters, but we're still reading the book. Enjoy the book. Because once he wins the Super Bowl, the book is over. You can close the book. The man would have done it all at that point. So let's just take some time to appreciate the greatness of this man and enjoy the storyline. Coach Harbaugh, if he wins the Super Bowl, he gets his second championship. He can close the book on his career if he likes. If John Harbaugh wants to retire after winning his second Super Bowl, shit, go for it. Enjoy the storyline. I mean, this is great stuff. I'm just psyched up. I'm ready to get off this. I'm ready to get off this podcast and go have me a nice little brandy. Pour me a nice shot of brandy on some rocks. Enjoy the rest of this Packers game. So I'm gonna leave you guys here. Final thoughts. Ravens go to their first AFC Championship game at home. Lamar Jackson 4 touchdown passes. 4 total touchdowns. Excuse me. The defense was absolutely amazing. CJ Stroud in the offense, no touchdowns. We'll find out who the next opponent is tomorrow, either Kansas City or Buffalo. If I had to have my early pick, I want Kansas City. They're the defending AFC champions. They're the defending Super Bowl champions. And they're probably going to be the harder matchup between the two. But I want them because Mahomes has set the bar. And in order for Lamar to get to where he needs to get to, he's got to bypass the bar. He's got to exceed the bar. And so Patrick Mahomes is the bar. You beat him, you've exceeded the bar. Now go get your Super Bowl at that point. You know what I'm saying? Josh Allen is cool too, but I want to see Ravens Chiefs. I really do. With this new offense and this defense, I would love to see how Patrick Mahomes, with no Eric Bieniemy, how they get past this Ravens defense. So that's who I want to see. I think the easier matchup for the Ravens is the Buffalo Bills because Josh Allen is a turnover machine, and he's going to give the Ravens some turnovers. That's who I think the easier matchup is the Buffalo Bills because Josh Allen, while he can make plays, he's also going to give you plays. And if the Ravens continue to play defense like this, and you're going to give us shit, then yeah, Josh Allen would be the easier matchup. Plus, KC has a better defense. So that's who the easier matchup is. I personally want the Chiefs. Because if you beat the Chiefs, then yeah, you have truly ascended to the next level. And then all the naysayers can leave Lamar Jackson alone. Oh, he didn't, like, I'll guarantee you, if Buffalo wins and the Ravens play Buffalo and Lamar wins that game, they're like, well, he didn't go through Patrick Mahomes to win a Super Bowl. They're going to find some narrative about Lamar Jackson. Oh, he didn't beat Patrick Mahomes to get to the Super Bowl. Like, he didn't do this. You know what I'm saying? None of that matters, though. But I would personally want the Chiefs. So we'll have to see. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Whoever was here live, thank you so much. Wavy, Juice, McFarlane, Tiffy, thank you so much for being. Savage Husky, I don't know if you're still in. Thank you so much. We'll be back again sometime this week to talk the opponent for next week. For those who are going to catch this video on VOD, much love for you watching the video. I appreciate you all. I'm going to go watch the rest of this Packers game because I am enjoying myself. I'll give me a shot of whiskey on the rocks, and I'm going to have a good night. And I hope you guys do too. Have a good one, everybody.